The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter. The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Hello everyone, welcome to Leadership Podcast. Today is another edition of The Big Issue. And of course, we'll first of all apologize for coming up late. It was due to some technical issues that was actually beyond our control. Well, quickly, as usual, I'm your regular host. George Agba is my name. And of course, in the studio here with me, our in-house analyst, Silas Ezewu.
Welcome.
And David Daka.
Good to be here again.
And of course, for the big issue of the day, it is all about the latest order by President Muhammadu Buhari to the military to launch a major onslaught against bandits operating in Niger State. The president gave the order following recent attacks in the state where about 13 people were said to have been killed. This is coming amidst attacks in other states like Zamfara, Katsina, Kaduna. Of course, it's like the bandits are becoming so daring by the day. And of course, the president's order has raised concerns among some Nigerians who are beginning to get worried that the marching orders by Mr. President is becoming one too many. As these marching orders have always come and they have never been, they are yet to see any changes. But David, you see, the president has given these marching orders every now and then, just like what Nigerians are saying. So now, with the major one, he's asking the military to launch in Niger State. What is new about the latest order to the military to eliminate these criminals?
Well, I personally have not seen that letter. But, you know, when it comes to military operations, the competence
And the president's team.
because while in the field, for them to carry out certain offenses, they need clearance from the executive. And if he doesn't give that, because it is not the military that will be answering at the end of the day, it is the executive. If you want major offensives, anything could go wrong. You give the positive result, it could be negative. Now, you want them to go hard on the people. He has written
terrorists.
the terrorists. Exactly. He has written. So what I expect is, I'm sure the military, following their intelligence, they know where these guys are. What I'm expecting is to see them carrying out airstrikes and then mopping up on the ground.
Yes.
But at the moment we don't see that, it is the same usual
Marching on.
marching order that has never yielded any positive result.
And then the funniest thing is that we would have expected that. You know, the president is coming 9 days after the federal government gazetted the declaration of bandits, kidnappers, and other related criminal elements as terrorists. So one would have expected that by now,
this whole thing,
yes,
it will become
Yes.
like the number one.
one would
But
have
it has been
expected
gazetted, so I expect to see results.
something different. Because one would have been expecting that we will see a situation where they will not deploy the Super Tucano jets to those places.
Of course, following the Gazette, we all know before now the super tucanos were operating only in the northeast. But as it is now, if there is need, if the men on ground have a need for super tucano to clear the place before they will come in, of course, to be deployed, because it is now constitutionally right for the super tucanos to operate legally within the rules of the armed conflict. They have the right to deploy that high precision aircraft. You know, before now, it's because of the damages that may occur while operating with everything. You know, if that aircraft should come and carry out some strikes in a particular location, damages will be much.
So when you see the issue here, is that I think from the way the president sounded yesterday, as presented by his spokesman, the presidential spokesman, I think the president seems to be singing Bob Marley's song, total destruction is the only solution. But you see, Silas, most Nigerians are of the opinion that President Buhari and those in charge of security have not really addressed the fundamental issues of insecurity in Nigeria. And the thinking is that Nigeria has become a fertile ground for bandits and terrorists. So, because the question they're asking is, why is it that there are no bandits in Ghana? You don't see them in Niger. You don't see them even in Chad. You hardly hear of them in some of these neighboring African countries. It is only in Nigeria. So the idea is that even if the president's order is carried out to the later, new sets of terrorists and bandits will still emerge. If the fundamental issue of these bandits in Nigeria is not addressed. So the question is, when would the president and those handling security mop up the political will, garner the political will to address this issue of banditry in the country?
Well, it's a question that all of them can answer. For a long time, Nigerians were, they were concerned that the leadership was not showing sufficient will to deal with emergent terrorist activities, which they planted under the farmer clashes. Call it a clash, farmer clashes. When some people are carrying AK-47 and destroying communities, a report I read, about 500 people on motorcycles, 500 carrying another 500 on the backs, armed with AK-47 and other rifles. They besieged communities, destroy, kill and rape, and burn down, and you take the target as a farmer. That was terrorism at its highest. But they were ready to tell us that our brothers should accommodate them, that space of the North, Libya, and they are looking for. Those are the times that Nigeria was supposed to put measures in place to check the culture. They even admit that are foreign to Nigeria and all those things. And I come to Nigeria, and some will tell us that we should treat them as brothers. They got it wrong from off. Now, it's true we're not hearing about banditry and since in other countries, but we know much about what's happening in Nigeria. I was reading a report from Super Regulus Government, and the journalist was saying he had to take a flight because he didn't want to risk running into bandits. So the person that the still has also, they are also having issues of separatist movements. And so that just like someone have taken advantage of IPOP to unleash their own terror in the Sanchez, they could also have some other armed groups in the government too, But in those countries, those are countries tell you that if you move from place to place, from there, you are back to show your identification. And that's why they can easily find out who's not a Cameroonian or a Nigerian or a Malian and co. Nigeria is open, the borders are open, we have more than 1,000 illegal entry routes. They are not able to move borders. So all kinds of people, and they feel that Nigeria is a rich country. Look, when you compare Nigeria to the countries around, the kind of money they hear in Nigeria is huge. And some of these management want to take advantage of it and come and settle somewhere in Nigeria. We have a lot of ungoverned spaces. And from there, they start people want to kidnap and get money, which they can easily transfer. That's why finally at the time they had to start asking the road to change people. But some of this, take this money from people, go there and change it, clean it up, and enough $1 and they cannot convert it to another currency. So those are some of the preemptive measures that government took, but it came late. But thank God they took them then. So we need to know who are Nigerians. Who are Nigerians? Some of them who are doing that are not Nigerians. And even those who are Nigerians, we need to identify them. That's why we can never run away from the idea of community state policing. You can't send somebody from Zamfara to go and to Bayelsa. Maybe I not seen river all the time. To go and pursue terrorists or bunkers in river who can just jump into the water and disappear for 2 days. Or you send somebody from here to that place, here does not understand the language or the culture. So and because of the ethnic suspicions, he'll not even welcome the community, he'll even afraid for his own life. And you need to get the buy-in of local people for you to police area very well. You have to have the locals supplying information, having convenience to you to come to you, with the information, intelligence, and support for you to see. Otherwise, I had an uncle who joined the police somewhere, sometime in the 1970s, and they posted him to Maiduguri or something. He was a principal posted at that as I had because his boss misbehaved and reported him, and the boss had some kind of big man behind. And him that reported the infraction was posted to military. When he went to the community, they could not adapt. They didn't even offer him a house. He stayed there 3 days living on a tree, about 3 days or 3 weeks in a tree fort, and he had to put the police because he couldn't function. So, but Buhari ruled out the issue of state policing in his interview, and to me that is the final about what I expect the state governments to do, like what Bachi, that's Madam Mohammed. You have about 1,000 or so hunters who come to the bushes to identify where possible bandits and terrorists and kidnappers hide, and then coordinate to chase them out of the place. That's why you find that Bachi, despite being in the middle of northeast, has not been much in the news of banditry activities and terrorism. And I read a piece from the interview from the police commissioner in Gombe. Those are not said in the northeast that is relatively peaceful. He says how it has got the local people to buy into the collective security. That's the kind of community policing. That's it. Every community knows who is who. If you have people buy into the security of the area, it's more easy to identify where they are. And then if they cannot handle it, they cannot bring in the federal forces, the army, the police, and others to come and help them. But there's some level of banditry that local people can handle. In my town, in my community, and then the government has the whole watch. Anybody that comes to the community is known and is tracked. Once you do anything, it will not take 1 hour whenever you are to track it down. So we have to go back to local policing. Policing from this federal unit is not working. It's not working.
Well, before we continue, let's just quickly take a short break. We'll be back in a moment.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Welcome back. We are still on the big issue in Leadership Podcast. And of course, the big issue of the day is President Buhari's renewed onslaught order to military against terrorist bandits. Well, Dhaka, you see, there was it had this situation where the states that this order was given, particularly by the president, is Niger State. Niger State is the largest state in Nigeria with a large expanse of ungoverned territories. So now, with this order, is Buhari going to supply enough security operatives? Don't forget that we have shortage of the security personnel in the country, be it military, police, and other security forces. So the order as it comes, are we seeing a situation where the president will have to supply enough security operatives to actually guide and protect these ungoverned territories?
Well, to me, I don't think the problem is the lack of security personnel. The problem is, do they have the capacity? Do they have the technology they need? Do they have the kind of weapons that they need? Do they have the kind of gadgets that they need to gather the kind of intelligence that they need? If we're able to answer these questions, we will know the position. Now, you can't go to where somebody is fighting with a knife and then you come with bare hands. No, you can't take a knife to go fight. Now, the terrorists we're talking about are well armed. And the market is not far. Go to neighboring Niger and Chad, all these other countries. They sell ammunition, they use mudu to measure ammunition. Black markets. And it's open. You go to a market, you see them selling guns and you use mudu to fetch the ammunition for you. So you should not hand, our northern borders, whether we like it or not. They are open. Anybody can come in, provided you can speak the language. Well, the border shut down, I don't think the border was actually shut down in the north.
Shut down. That does not have any protection, any gates.
So a lot of things are just not the way they should. That we need answers to. So unless the government should, because the military, it's not that they cannot do it. I know the military, if given the chance to do those things, but of course, while in a democratic set, of course, the military keep complaining. You have soldiers, the foot soldiers keep complaining, we don't have this, we need. So when you send them and you don't equip them the way they should, and the moment somebody fires a rifle, they know the kind of rifle the terrorist is carrying. And then they need, the soldier will now tell you, I need air support, I need helicopter, I need jets to go and bomb this before I will enter. And he does not have it. We know they are setting. The response time is quite delayed.
I understand.
So it becomes a suicide mission.
I'm telling you.
It becomes a suicide mission.
Soldiers.
You see, why I was asking David this question was that during the last operations, by the military that killed about 35 terrorists, the police said only motorcycles could pass through such terrains in Niger State. So if the security operatives there can't operate there in the manner they're supposed to, then there's trouble.
Mind you, this is not the first time. They know the terrain. The government knows the terrain. So if you send me to a place, and I of course, the moment I get to the place, I surveyed. I've surveyed, I've sent you my report. This is what I need to operate. And you don't give it to me, what do you expect? Even if it means negotiating to save my life, I'll do that. I'll stay alive and allow them to operate.
Well,
you understand? So there are lots of things that are just not right
at all
until we empower the security operators. They should give them the needed equipment. I have interaction with my family and a lot of children. During the adoption meeting, I had a brother that was there. He said, this is not bandits. A lot of soldiers were killed. He was on ground that very day. So a colleague, he told me he was eating with that guy before the signal came for them to advance. And the guy never came back.
Well, see, Nigerians are saying the kind of order issued by the president shows that the government is not being reactive instead of proactive. Because the idea is that banditry and insurgency It's not something you just sit down and clear. Okay, now you sit down because you keep matching up. Those bandits you sit down in the forest, they should have their ear to the ground.
I was coming to that.
Giving them information.
I was coming to that.
Why would you be giving
I was coming to that.
They are here because
Listen. I was coming to that because I think you are doing a lot of window dressing. If you want to take on somebody like that, you will tell him ahead that I'm coming to look for you.
Yes.
I'm coming to crack down on you. And you set him to sit down with you.
Sit down,
If you have a proverb in my place, it's only a tree that you tell I'm going to cut you down. That you know you're going to cut you down. And you stay there and wait.
Because you have perfection.
If you tell a dog, if a dog goes there, you run away, or chicken or something. A lot of people are pursue a chicken and say, oh, it will not fly. And you now, when I want to go to Meduguri, say, Operation Darakun, you say that I'm going to try to go and fight. And you think those people, now, what are we doing? Are we not supposed to have secret operations to achieve maximum effect? Why must you tell them that we're coming for you? When they carry out their own operations and attack schools, do they announce their own coming? And that's why they're able to have success. By the time you announce it to them,
sometimes they actually announce.
because they feel they're not capable to them. If they know that they're an equal and opposite force that will repel them, they will not do that. They are looking in case our system and plan that they can do it and get away with it. See, if a thief wants to go to rob a bank, if he's not sure of coming out, he will not go at all. The first thing they think about is exit. How do I go and come back safely? If you're not sure of that coming out, he will not go. So for them to go there, it's because they feel that they have enough arsenal, enough information to go and associate with the mission. Otherwise, if they know that they are you have some kind of superior high-tech guy, they will take them out of that company. They don't announce it, they will go in the secret of darkness, the secrecy of darkness. So this idea of announcing we are going to do this whenever I see it, I cringe. I say, what are we doing? What are we playing?
That's the life of politics.
See, are we playing
politics?
Are we playing with life and death? Let me tell you something. This is not happening. It's going to happen to somebody close to you. See, in the last 2-3 days, 2 people who work with me, who work for me, have had people kidnapped. This time, 4, they released. My mechanic, it was the younger sister that was kidnapped there. Then when I was there, a cobbler that I gave money to fix my shoe and he ran away for some time. When I saw it, I said, I gave money to do. He said he had not been done because they kidnapped his wife and his sister in Katsina State. It's in Mangal local government or something. And they killed 2 of them when they could not raise the money. I saw the man, I was angry that I gave him money, I didn't do my work and disappeared. I froze. He told me his town and why it happened.
The anger just turned
stayed there, I froze. Those are just today alone, those are 2 people that have suffered kidnapping and death. The one survived it, the one lost his sister. So if they begin to, I don't know what they're playing at, but we need to strategize. They need to call a security summit where they will strategize. This idea of you are flushing them in Kano and they're running to Sokoto. What nonsense is that? Even me that without a public thing, I know that if you flush them this area, they run to that place. And if you just go there, go and dislodge. The sludge is to ask them, chase them out of the place. If you chase them out of the place, they're going somewhere else. Are you planning to walk them up and clear them, or do you want to continue doing this cat and dog race for how long?
Whereas other Nigerians,
that's why people say they don't have
busy killing Nigerians like fowl.
So that's why people say that they don't have political will to this marching order is not necessarily that we gazetted and a terrorist organization and the army's job to track them down everywhere and bring them down.
The moment that
Gazette
was gazetted, it is now left for the military. When they know where those guys are, to tell the Mr. President they are here, we want to do this, we want to do that.
Simple.
And if you give approval, we are going to bomb, we are going to do it.
Well, it is for this reason that most Nigerians are saying that the bandits are being pampered and that the federal government is deliberately not wanting to end bandits. But, well, let's just leave the matter as it is for now because time is not on our side again. Well, but the idea is that Nigerians are saying that the marching orders are too much, that the President Buhari's government should be proactive instead of being merely reactive.
before you were shutting down, remember that the governor of that state had been shouting that Boko Haram has set up territory, they are flying their flags in Niger State for many months now. After so many months now, it's now
agencies.
We have the intelligence agencies.
How this has happened last year?
And we'll see, and the from NIS there, they have even cameras that can see every inch of ground in Nigeria. The DG, I had the information somewhere, so they can even stay in Abuja and see what is happening there. I don't know what they're doing about this, but if the governor is saying bandits have set up camp or terrorists and they are flying their flags, they are taking over this area, this is the closest town place Abuja, and we are deploying after how many months? What is it telling us?
Well,
God help us.
thank you, Silas.
That's it.
That is the much we can take for today's edition of the big issue. You've heard it all. And of course, Nigeria is in trouble. The security situation of the state. He said recently that prayer, he hopes that God answers the prayer of Nigeria.
It's not prayer.
We need to work.
Take action.
Work and pray.
Well,
Do the right thing.
we need prayers too.
Let's work
Do
and
the right
pray.
thing.
Work and pray.
Nigerians know what will end all these killings and everything. We want to see those.
Well, let me just thank our in-house analysts for addressing the big issue the way it is. And of course, I would like to thank you, our viewers, for keeping tab with us out there. Join us same time for another edition of the big issue. Have a nice day.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.